and welcome to Harmony Alumni Leadership Interview Series. And today we have our guest, Ms. Eliza Rivera. Welcome, Ms. Rivera.
Hi, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Glad to have you. And we have Danny Bustillos. Welcome, sir.
How's it going, man?
It's all yours, Danny.
Sounds good. Well, hi, Elisa or Ms. Rivera. What would you prefer I call you?
You can call me Elisa.
Okay, Elisa. Thank you for accepting our invitation. We really wanted to take this opportunity to get better acquainted with you. You know, we know you as an alumni. We know that you were part of our school for such a long time. So now we want to kind of catch up and just see where you are academically, you know, with your career, with your education. So could you run us a bit of how it's going for you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Definitely. So yeah, I haven't really kept, I guess, in too much touch with the alumni, you know, ever since COVID happened. But right now, I just finished my undergrad in mechanical engineering at UTEP, and I'm currently working at NASA Goddard Space Flight Center. And I'm going to be pursuing my graduate studies at Purdue University this coming fall. So that's where I am right now.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. For
That's,
real.
that's something to envy, you know? Oh, that's great.
Thank you.
We're jealous. Not envious. We're jealous of you. Tell me, Elisa, what was your undergrad that you graduated within?
It was mechanical engineering. Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, yeah, but I'm going off to aerospace, so I've decided to make that like change.
We'll get into why you decided to make that change in a little bit. Can you start us off with how you ended up choosing to pursue mechanical engineering?
Yeah, so actually it started back when I was in high school. I mean, I always knew that I wanted to work at NASA. So that's even like the reason why I decided to go like to a math and science academy for high school. But when I was at Harmony, I decided to join the robotics team, and my extracurricular activities kind of guided me towards choosing a more, I guess, mechanical setting. And
Right.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed, you know, building like the structures of like robots, for example. And just in general, I think mechanical specifically is kind of generic. It's one of the engineerings that encompasses a little bit of everything. So I
Right.
thought, why not? Like, I'll just start with mechanical, and it was definitely the best choice because I love it a lot.
It's a good foundation to kind of be a jack of all trades in the engineering world, right?
Yeah.
I get you. Well, that's really cool. And you said that you've always wanted to be there where you are right now, which is you're working at NASA, or is it like an internship? What exactly is that you're doing?
So it's called a Pathways internship. And essentially what it is it's while you're completing your school, they're essentially just training you for when you graduate, then they can offer you some type of employment. Of course, if you do well, if you perform well. So that's
Right.
the kind of program that I'm involved in right now.
Man, that's awesome. I had never even heard of such a program. How long do you have left? How long ago did you start it?
I started at NASA like back in 2018, but in this specific program in 2019. And I'm definitely going to be in it for the next probably 2 years until I finish my grad school. So.
Well, that's really crazy to hear. And what is it exactly that you're doing right now there at NASA? Can you run us perhaps through like a day in the life of Elisa?
Yes. So right now I am a quality engineer, and I am trained to essentially kind of inspect spaceflight hardware. I haven't yet been able to, because of the current pandemic, to like actually do what I was trained to do.
Right.
But I do have, you know, just a lot of experience with reviewing certain documents, looking at different hardware on different like applications. And then on the side, I also have a project. It's with the thermal team at Goddard, and I'm building heaters basically, and I'm assembling them onto what's going to be called the Roman Space Telescope. So it's a pretty neat project. I'm really excited to see it actually, you know, in space one day. It's like,
Right.
I don't know if you're familiar with the Hubble Space Telescope, well,
Of
this
course.
is going to be like a 2.0 type of thing. Well, maybe not.
Is it meant to replace that one telescope that they just retired? I believe it was, or it didn't retire. It got destroyed, and it wasn't a telescope. Or it was, but it was an observatory out in Puerto
Oh,
Rico. I actually
yeah,
saw
you're
it.
talking about the one in Mars, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Um,
crazy.
yeah, no, I think that's more of a robot. But no, this telescope isn't going to necessarily replace it, but it is going to allow us to see basically the galaxies in a more defined way.
Right.
So it's pretty neat. And all the thermal parts of that is very complicated. I'm learning as I go, honestly. It's like drinking from a fire hose, right? Like so much information, so much knowledge. But thankfully, I'm working with really talented people and really kind people that are like introducing everything to me like little by little.
Right.
So yeah, basically that's
And
what I'm doing.
it's pretty like a great honor to be speaking with somebody who's doing such a thing. We're gonna be talking, me and Said are gonna be talking about, yeah, we know somebody who puts parts on things that go to space. So that's super cool. That's so different to hear, and we're really happy for you. You know that you're pursuing what you obviously want to do. So we can only assume that you're actually happy
Yeah.
doing what what you're doing. And speaking of, could you share with us, please, something that made you decide, something that was kind of like the critical factor in you choosing to pursue that, to be like, you know what, it's NASA, it's aerospace, this is where I want to go, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. So probably I started off like really, really young, like I maybe 8 years old. I was like out there sitting in my trampoline, like, hey, the stars are so beautiful. I want to study that. Um, and so I really just started to get involved as soon as I could in school with like my science and math courses. I tried to gain a lot of knowledge about space. And once I got into college, I definitely entered organizations that I thought would gear me towards that, I guess, that realm of expertise, or just meeting people and networking with people who are already in the aerospace industry. Um,
Right.
like for example, in college, I did this project called MicroG Next, and yeah, we built a space tool. We tested it at Johnson, and that was actually the first time I even went to NASA. That was in 2018 as well. Um, and I mean, I guess my advice would be to students: if you're interested and passionate about something, don't be afraid to join things that are related to those kinds of projects that you want to pursue one day, because you never know, right? Like you never know when you're going to meet that right person, or
Right.
it's going to be involved in the right project at the right time.
Don't get ahead of me. You beat me to a question, so we'll just move on a little bit here. Um, you mentioned that like while in school you got involved to some activities and stuff that helped you and kind of inspired you. Could you tell us about perhaps one of those activities, leadership or STEM activities that you did while here at Harmony?
Okay, well, while I was at Harmony, probably I would say the more related projects were robotics. Definitely robotics. Of course, like performing well in my science and math classes was also pretty important, because you have to develop a, I guess, a work structure and like work ethic maybe early on.
Right.
You can't just, well, at least personally, I think that you shouldn't go into college without having practiced being a good student, right, in high
And
school.
would you say that Harmony helped you go into college more prepared, like, or into life just in general, in that like point of view, in that
Yeah,
aspect of being a better student?
definitely. I think I had a lot of support from my teachers and just the faculty, who they just like make sure that that you're doing good, and if you need anything, that they have it or they supply it. And even through college, I mean, I don't know if you know, Danny, but I was like always at the alumni center.
I
Literally,
do.
I spent like I don't know, 3 years every single day there, and that's something I'm always going to be very, very grateful for, because that helped me a lot, keep my focus, keep my drive.
And we're really grateful that you were there every day, because it kind of motivates others as well to see that we have resources that we want to offer to all of our alumni, right? And to all of our students. And just like yourself, everybody has the privilege and the right of taking advantage of those, of course, when the pandemic passes. But even then, you know, I definitely agree with you. We're basically done here, Elisa. I just have two more questions. Well, I have one more for you, and then Saeed might ask you one more. But what I wanted to ask you is, where do you see yourself in 10 years? In space, probably, right? But you tell me.
Well, you said it, Danny. I definitely, you know, my dream is to one day, well, continue my education, right? Finish, graduate at Purdue with a master's or a doctorate even. And then at that point, continue with NASA. I'm always going to be at NASA, really. Hopefully, you know, if I get the opportunity to be like an astronaut or something like that, I will be an astronaut if I can, you know.
Believe it.
But fingers crossed. I mean, it's a very competitive, I guess, process. And so, but I guess to be more specific, in 10 years from now, I see myself hopefully like a complete professional in my field of study, and maybe also with the family, hopefully too.
Well, good
At a
luck.
level. Yeah.
Hopefully. Elisa, last question. Do you have any role models in your life or role model?
Role models in my life. Yes, I do. I have a couple, and I guess I'll name them. Why not? So it's my oldest sister, Bernadette. Frank Rivera is actually a really big mentor of mine. And then Miguel Fraga, he's also a really good mentor from UTEP. Michelle Rucker, my first mentor at NASA. And Kim Brown, one of my current mentors now at NASA. So those are like my role models so far.
Well, we would like to send out thank you to those role models for helping out, supporting you on your way. And we would like to thank you and wish you best of luck, right, for your future successes. And I hope we hear more from you in the future. We get to do more interviews with you. So thank you so much for taking this time and joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Let's schedule our next interview for when you're inside the Space Center. Deal?
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
Deal.
and for our audience, thank you for watching. Stay tuned. We'll be posting more videos. All right. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.